We're back, and this is episode number 6 of Highlighting the Best of Youth Sports, brought to you by Numbers Don't Lie Productions. Here we go. Welcome to Highlighting the Best of Youth Sports, where we bring you insights from top athletes, their sports journey, and those positively impacting the youth sports community. If you're ready like we are, let's go! Highlighting the Best of Youth Sports, episode number 6 is with multi-sport standout and Numbers Don't Lie athlete Edmund McAllister III, better known as EMAC. He is a multi-sport 9-year-old champion in track and field and football. We had a great conversation with EMAC and his parents about the sports journey they're on. Before we get into the interview, please subscribe, rate, and review. That is how we're going to grow this show. We also ask that you share this episode with any of your friends and family that may enjoy it. Finally, send us a direct message on any of our social media platforms, or send us an email and let us know who you would like to see in the future and what you want to hear about on this show. Now let's get into this episode. Today we have Edmund McAllister III, and he goes by EMAC. And we also have Mr. and Mrs. McAllister with us. And I want to welcome you all to Highlighting the Best of Youth Sports, our new show. And thank you for taking the time to be here today. How is everyone doing tonight?
Doing great.
Good. Okay, EMAC, for those that may not be familiar with you, can you take a few moments and tell us about yourself, how old you are, where you're from, and what sports you compete in?
I compete in track. I play football. I compete in those two sports. I'm 9 years old, and I'm from Columbus, Ohio.
All right, sounds good. Okay, can you tell us how long you've been playing football and how long you've been running track?
I've been running track for about, I want to say, 4 years or 5, and I've been playing football for 5 years.
About half your life for both of those, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're an outstanding athlete from everything we're seeing and hearing about you. So keep working hard on that. I understand you just had a pretty big weekend. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Why don't you tell us about that?
It was fun. I got the athlete of the year, and it was pretty cool. And we did this all-star game, and we played against this team. And it was a tough game, but we came out with the win.
And how did you do in the game?
I did good. I got 3 touchdowns, and I got 5 tackles.
Nice. And did you win any awards today?
Yeah, I got a ring for winning the game, and I got MVP.
That's awesome. Congratulations, EMAC.
Thank you.
How did your regular team do this year in football?
They won the championship, and we were undefeated.
And you play running back, and what do you play on defense as well?
I play safety.
Okay. And what's your favorite part about playing football?
It's a team sport, and it's an ultimate team sport. You have to play all together, and there's 4 quarters. If you make a mistake, you have 3 quarters left.
That's right. And how about track? So you've been doing track for a long time. What's your favorite thing about doing track? Because that's more of an individual sport, and you mentioned a lot of the teamwork and the team aspect of football. How about track? What do you like most about competing in track?
I like track. I like running, and I like burning my energy, and it's warm outside in track.
Okay. And I know you work with some personal coaches too for football, and I'm assuming also for track. Can you tell us what you train on with those personal coaches?
So for track, I train with my coach. His name is Tremaine Peppers. I work on him with speed, and I train with my other football coach, Terry Dinkins, and I work on him for footwork, receiver, and running back.
Now, how often do you work with your personal coaches? How often do you train with them?
3 days a week.
3 days a week, okay. And then you have football practice also. So how many days total a week are you playing your sports?
I'm playing them or 5 days a week, 5 days all through the week.
Okay. Very good. What is your best memory, either this year or just all time in football? Best memory or best accomplishment you've had?
This year is my biggest accomplishment was when I got a pick six, I got a fumble recovery, and I scored all 4 ways to get a touchdown.
Was that overall on the season or in one game?
Overall in the season.
Okay, but you scored 4 different ways. And how many total touchdowns did you have this year?
28.
Wow, 28 touchdowns. That's amazing. Good job. And then how about track? What's been your biggest memory or accomplishment for track?
It was when in regionals, I dropped in the 200, I dropped a 27.71, and then in the 400, I dropped a 104. In a 100-meter dash, I dropped a 13.9.8.
Dad knows that numbers don't lie. EMAC, how are you going to be able to improve those numbers this year for track? Or do you have a goal to beat those numbers this year?
Yes, I'm going to drop a 12.8 in track for the 100-meter. And then in the 400-meter, I want to get a 59. And then in the 200-meter, I want to get a 26.
Okay, very good. Okay, I want to switch a little bit, EMAC. I want to talk to you a little bit about things outside of sports, okay? Can you tell us how you're doing in school, what type of grades you're getting?
I'm getting all A's. I have a 4.0 GPA, and I like math also. It is fun at school.
Okay, so you enjoy being at school and you like math. That's good. Do you understand how important it is to get your education? I'm sure your mom and dad have been telling you why you need to get your education, right?
Yes, because after football, I have a life after football. I can't play sports if I don't have the grades.
Absolutely. And one thing we like to mention, and I tell my kids and everything, is the better grades you get, the harder you work in school and your sports, the more options you're going to have. Now, outside of sports, EMAC, what activities or hobbies do you enjoy?
I like gaming. I like playing flag football, and I like enjoying time with my family.
Okay. What type of gaming do you do? What are the games you like to play?
NBA 2K, Madden, what else? That's it, I think.
Okay. How good are you at Madden? I think I may be able to take you.
I play on all Madden. I'm a GOAT.
You're a GOAT? I love that. I love that. Okay, EMAC. So I want to talk a little bit about your social media, and I'll go a little more in depth with your parents because I know they manage your social media. But are you at all on social media? Do you get to look at your page? What do you do personally as a young man on social media?
I stay away from social media.
Probably smart. And I know your parents probably manage that for you and keep you away from that. So I don't need to tell you too much about this, but once you're old enough and your parents allow you to start getting on social media, just a word of advice is don't ever say anything or do anything or put anything on your social media that would that you wouldn't want your mom and dad to see. And that's as you go now. As you become an adult, that same advice goes for when you're an adult, and especially as you're growing as an athlete. You are your brand, and your social media is a direct reflection of you. So just make sure once you do get on there that you're being responsible with your platforms that you have, and do good with the platforms that you're on. EMAC, so you're one of our Numbers Don't Lie athletes. What do you think about that?
Pretty cool. On YouTube and everything. Everybody sees me.
Yeah. Have you liked the videos we've been able to create for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, EMAC, I'm going to switch over to your parents. I'm going to ask them a few questions, and then I'm going to come back to you in a little bit, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. McAllister, thank you again so much for just doing this interview and also just reaching out to us and becoming one of our NDL Nation athlete families. And so I just have a few questions for you guys. One being, and either of you can answer, do you have any advice for other parents that may be raising top athletes very at a young age? You can tell that EMAC is an elite athlete already. Do you have any advice for other parents that may be having to balance family and school as well as the sports and all the training you have going on? How do you balance that, and do you have any advice for other parents?
It's that the key factor in our home is that we work together. And although a lot of people see my husband and my son working together, like it's a team effort. And so I have the school and we tag team with the nutrition portion, you know, and so it's very collectively, we all play important pieces in this journey. And so I think it's the working together that makes things come together so perfectly.
Thank you for that. Now, Mr. McAllister, I think you manage the social media pages. What's your philosophy on the social media accounts and your management of the social media accounts?
Well, he has Instagram and he has Facebook, but because of the age he is now, when so much going on out there in the world, I just make sure that I'm managing his Instagram. I might show him some cool posts here and there, but I don't let him engage too much, just because there's so many people that send him messages that just aren't on the right path, and I don't want him to get discouraged or lose confidence because of the comments that people make online, or also seeing any of the vulgar or the bad information that's on Instagram and Facebook. So I manage it and my wife manage it, and we just help him just kind of build his confidence and off the cool videos that you guys make of him. That puts a smile on his face, but that's it. I believe that parents need to protect their children as much as possible.
Absolutely. And I think it's real important for us too, being in the business that we are of working with youth athletes. When we actually reach out and message people and kids, we're very, we're, how do I say this? It's top of mind for us to make sure that we're talking to the parents. So we're not sure who has access to it. So we say for the parents, right. But there's so many younger kids also being on social media that it can be scary at times, but you also know the importance of it. And that's obviously why you have the accounts to help start building that brand for him. And that's great. And I think you have EMAC has a younger brother as well, correct?
He does, yes.
Okay.
5-year-old, he's starting to build his own name out there. He's trying to get out the shadow of EMAC's little brother.
Yep.
Yeah, on nationals during track, so he's starting to get a little fan base.
Yeah, and I think I featured both of them at some point on Numbers Don't Lie, correct?
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Okay, good. So if I could, I just want to ask you guys just a little testimonial about Numbers Don't Lie, and why is it that you needed to get a highlight video at some point for EMAC, and what was the problem you were having as a sports parent that made you reach out to us?
I just thought that Numbers Don't Lie created a platform so that nationally he can get out there. He was already out there nationally when we did our different events, but I wanted more people to see the videos and the touchdowns and the track events from a social media standpoint, because sometimes with you guys having so many followers, we're able to touch more people than myself, and you guys are the experts in creating the tags and the ads. So I trust you guys to handle that, and it has helped a lot.
Good. That makes us happy to hear that. And so far, and you touch on this a little bit, but what has been your experience in working with us and working with Numbers Don't Lie, and the process and everything about, it's just recently he became an NDL Nation athlete. I think we're in our second or third month, but what's been your experience working with us?
Experience has been tremendous. You guys comment back so quick. Like if I send you a message, you guys respond quickly. And I think it's been both ways, because if you guys send me a message, I'm very quick on it. And when you guys say that you guys going to put out a video, or whenever he @s you guys or puts the hashtag, you guys post it very quickly. So I enjoy that, and we're thankful for that.
Good. And that's something we're trying to educate all of our members as well, is just the more you can tag us and the more times you're able to do that, it's easier for us to just really put you on our story, especially we can do that in 2 seconds. And, at first, when we first started this last year, we started saying we're going to do a certain number of posts and everything, but it's really hard if some of the customers aren't doing as much on their part to get us the information. So that's what we're trying to educate everyone on, is tag us and use that upload portal. Send us stuff as much as possible. And you guys are doing great with that. And I appreciate that, and appreciate you guys as customers and kind of following the guidelines we're setting up, and we're trying to improve them as we go. So I appreciate you guys for working with us and going through the process as well. So thank you on that. And what would you tell someone that's looking to work with Numbers Don't Lie, or that's looking to get a highlight video produced? What would you tell them about Numbers Don't Lie?
I would tell them that you guys are a great team to work with if they're looking for branding, and if they're looking for increased followers, that Numbers Don't Lie would be the great people to work with.
Okay. And has that helped you? I mean, and that's something we're constantly looking at as far as the numbers, and because yes, we have a lot of followers, but we also find a lot of our athletes may not have as many followers, but they have a deeper following, if you would, that they can get a lot more likes already on their own. But you've mentioned it's helped you, and just being on our platform.
Yes, it has helped being on your platform as well, because more people are able to see when you add them to the stories, and the more you add them to the video. Sometimes the first time you might add them in a video, they might not like it, but if they continue to see that video, they're like, hey, start following this kid, start following this journey, because it seems like he might be important.
Perfect. I love hearing that, and that makes us feel good that you're seeing the benefits of that. Now, moving into 2020, how can we do more for you guys? How can we bring more value with this program to you guys as participants, as NDL Nation athletes?
Currently, the process and how you guys are doing things right now is actually currently working. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Okay.
So I think we're moving in the right direction. And
have I gotten EMAC a hat yet?
No, he doesn't.
Okay, we're gonna get one mailed out to him. So I'm gonna go. I'll message you and make sure I got the right address. But I want to make sure he gets some swag.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna move back to EMAC. And are you ready for the final 4 rapid fire, EMAC?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's your one big goal for the next year?
To be a national champion, 3-time national champion in track.
All right. And what does it take to be the national champion?
I have to take no days off, always grind, and then don't take no breaks, and don't cheat when no one's looking.
That's right. Okay. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received from a coach or a parent?
Mental blinkers. That's what means keep your mind on the goal ahead of you and don't let nothing get in the way of it.
Okay, and what did you say at the beginning? Mental
blinkers.
Mental blinkers. I love that. What's your favorite, or who is your favorite athlete and why? Why don't we do both? Who's your favorite football athlete?
Football athlete. It might be Tyreek Hill. He's short and fast like me.
I like that. Okay, and what about in track and field? Who's your favorite athlete and why?
Christian Coleman. He's short, but he's quick, and he's explosive.
We have a theme here. I like it. Okay, EMAC, where can people follow you and find out more about the sports journey you're on? What's your social media name and handle?
They can find me on Instagram, and my name is Lil EMAC4.
Okay, and you're also on Facebook, and when we do the show notes and everything, we'll put all the links to all your sites as well for the show. So, okay, well, I want to thank you all very much for doing this and being part of the interview. And after this, we will We'll send you some links, and we'll send you some of the promotional items for the podcast when it launches. It'll be a couple weeks, but we'll send it to you, and you guys can post it on your social media, and we'll tag you on everything we put out too.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you. That's a wrap on show number 6. And we're now more than halfway to our 10th show. We're excited for the future and want to say thank you so much for being a part of this journey with us. Please subscribe, rate, review, and share this episode. With your help, we'll get the word out about the show and the athletes we're featuring on highlighting the best of youth sports. Join us over on any of our social media platforms and let us know what you thought about the show, and any and all feedback is welcome. We want this to be the best show possible for you, our audience. Until our next episode, go out and win the day and never miss your opportunity to be great. Thanks for listening to Highlighting the Best of Youth Sports at www.numbersdon'tlie.biz.